When we look at life after 60, it is easy to feel that the best years are already behind us. But the truth is that many of the most rewarding years of life can still be ahead if we choose to take care of our bodies and minds. The reason so many older adults struggle to live beyond 80 is not simply because of age itself, but because of hidden health problems that quietly build up over time and steal years away before we even realize what is happening. These hidden challenges may sound intimidating, but they are not unbeatable. In fact, the moment we recognize them and make small changes, we begin to shift the direction of our lives and add quality years that are filled with energy, love and meaning. Number first, when we think about life after 60, the heart becomes the silent engine that keeps everything else running smoothly. Yet so often it is taken for granted until a serious problem forces attention. Many older adults believe that because they no longer feel as energetic as they did in their younger years, slowing down is natural and inevitable. But in truth, a great deal of that fatigue and decline comes from not giving the heart the care it needs to stay strong. The heart is a muscle, and like any other muscle, it responds to movement, nourishment, and attention. When it is neglected, it becomes vulnerable to high blood pressure, clogged arteries, and weakening tissue, all of which may develop quietly over years without obvious warning signs. These silent threats are the very reasons so many people struggle to live beyond 80. Yet the solution is far simpler than many imagine. Gentle, consistent movement is one of the most powerful medicines for the heart. Walking for 15 to 30 minutes a day, practicing light stretches in the morning, or even moving through a short session of chair exercises is enough to keep blood flowing and the cardiovascular system engaged. The heart thrives on rhythm, on regular circulation, and when it receives that through daily activity, it stays flexible, efficient, and strong. Exercise does not have to mean lifting heavy weights or running marathons. It means choosing to move instead of sitting still, taking the stairs instead of the elevator, gardening, dancing, or even playing with grandchildren. Each of these small activities becomes a message to the heart that it is still needed, still working and still capable of supporting a full, vibrant life well beyond 80. Just as movement strengthens the heart from the outside, food nourishes it from the inside. A nutrient-rich diet is the fuel that keeps the cardiovascular system clean and energized. When the body is flooded with processed foods, high levels of sugar and unhealthy fats, the arteries become narrow, stiff, and clogged, forcing the heart to work harder than it should. Over time, this extra effort exhausts the heart and makes it more prone to failure. But when the diet is built on whole, colorful vegetables, fresh fruits, whole grains, lean proteins, and healthy fats from sources like nuts, seeds, olive oil, and fish, the opposite happens. These foods clear away inflammation, reduce cholesterol buildup, and supply the heart with the vitamins and minerals it craves. Potassium-rich foods like bananas and leafy greens help regulate blood pressure, while omega-3 fatty acids strengthen the heart muscle and reduce the risk of irregular rhythms. Hydration is equally important because the blood needs water to flow freely, and without enough hydration, the heart is forced to pump thicker, heavier blood through the body. The combined effect of light exercise and proper diet is nothing short of remarkable. Older adults who embrace these habits often find that they sleep better, breathe easier, and move with greater confidence. They may notice that dizziness fades, stamina improves, and their mood becomes lighter. What is really happening inside is that their blood pressure stabilizes, their arteries remain open and flexible, and their heart rate adapts more efficiently to stress. All of these changes reduce the likelihood of heart attacks and strokes, two of the leading causes that prevent people from living well into their 80s and beyond. The body responds to care at any age, and even if someone has gone decades without thinking much about their heart, it is never too late to begin. A single walk, a single choice to eat a salad instead of processed food, or a single glass of water instead of soda can set off a chain of improvements that ripple through the entire cardiovascular system. What is equally powerful is the way these habits influence mental and emotional well-being. A healthy heart supports not only the body, but also the mind, because improved circulation delivers more oxygen to the brain, reducing fogginess and memory lapses. Light activity and wholesome meals release endorphins and balance hormones, which guard against stress and depression. This emotional stability becomes a form of protection for the heart itself, because stress hormones are known to strain the cardiovascular system and accelerate damage. When the cycle of stress and poor diet is broken and replaced with calm movement and nourishing food, the heart is given the best possible environment to thrive. Living beyond 80 does not have to be rare or out of reach. It is not reserved only for those blessed with good genes or extraordinary luck. It is within reach for anyone who chooses to support the heart each day with small, consistent actions. The strength of the heart is built step by step, meal by meal, and breath by breath. The future of one's health lies not in waiting for illness to appear, but in taking charge now, in cherishing this vital organ, and in giving it the respect it deserves through mindful movement and nourishing choices that can extend life, expand vitality, and make the years after 60 some of the most rewarding of all. Number 2. As the years pass, many older adults notice subtle changes in the way their bodies feel and move, and often those changes are linked to the gradual weakening of bones and muscles. This decline does not happen overnight, but it creeps in quietly, making everyday activities feel heavier and balance less reliable. What seems like a minor stiffness when rising from a chair, or a bit of unsteadiness while walking across a room, can become, over time, a serious risk to independence. Fragile bones and weaker muscles create the perfect conditions for falls, fractures, and injuries that can cut life short or dramatically reduce quality of life. Yet this hidden health problem is not inevitable, because the body is incredibly responsive to even small doses of attention and care. No matter how late in life, those changes begin. Movement is the single most effective way to protect bones and muscles, and contrary to what some may believe, it does not require intense workouts or athletic routines. Gentle strength training using light weights or even resistance bands helps maintain and rebuild muscle tissue, keeping it firm and supportive. Yoga and Tai Chi improve flexibility, balance, and coordination, all of which reduce the risk of falling. A simple daily walk, whether in the neighborhood, a park, or even inside the home, strengthens the legs and keeps the joints lubricated. These small actions build resilience over time, and the results are often profound. Seniors who commit to light, regular exercise find they can carry groceries with more ease, climb stairs without gasping, and move through daily life with a renewed sense of confidence, and control bones respond in a remarkable way to activity as well. They are not static. They are living tissue that strengthens when challenged and weakens when ignored. Weight-bearing activities like walking, light jogging, dancing, or even climbing stairs send signals to the bones that they must stay dense and strong. When such signals are absent, bones thin out, becoming brittle and prone to fractures. This is why osteoporosis, often called the silent disease, is so dangerous. It progresses quietly until a fall or minor accident results in a serious break. But with consistent activity and the right nutrients, bones can retain strength far longer than many assume. Even individuals who have already been diagnosed with bone thinning can slow or sometimes reverse its progression through daily movement, and a nourishing diet. Nutrition plays an equally vital role in this battle against weakness. Calcium, long known as the building block of bones, remains essential, and it can be found not only in dairy products but also in leafy greens, almonds, fortified plant milks, and fish like sardines and salmon. Vitamin D is crucial because it helps the body absorb calcium, and it often requires a combination of sunlight exposure and diet or supplements. Especially in older age, when the body's natural ability to produce vitamin D declines. Magnesium, another often overlooked mineral, works alongside calcium to strengthen bone structure and muscle function. Protein, found in lean meats, legumes, nuts, and seeds, supports the rebuilding of muscle fibers and keeps the body resilient against wear and tear. When older adults prioritize these nutrients daily, they create a shield that protects against the silent weakening of their frame. The benefits of caring for bones and muscles go beyond physical strength. With a stronger body comes a greater sense of independence, the ability to walk confidently, to bend and lift without fear, to rise from bed or a chair without assistance, gives a person freedom and dignity in their later years. This independence fuels emotional well-being, reducing feelings of helplessness or dependence that can weigh heavily on the mind. Movement and nourishment also improve circulation, boost energy, and release endorphins, creating a cycle of positivity that extends far beyond the physical body. Even social life can improve, as those who feel physically capable are more likely to join friends for walks, participate in group activities, and engage with their communities, What is most inspiring is that it is never too late to begin. Even older adults who have lived sedentary lives, or who already feel the limitations of weaker bones and muscles, can see improvements with small steps. A few minutes of stretching in the morning, a daily walk to the mailbox, choosing water over soda, or adding leafy greens to a meal can make a difference. These choices, repeated over weeks and months, add up to powerful protection against the hidden danger of physical decline. The body has an incredible ability to adapt and heal, and when it is given even a little attention, it responds in ways that extend life and make those years richer and fuller. The truth is that strong bones and muscles are not just about preventing falls or avoiding fractures. They are the foundation of an active, meaningful life. They allow older adults to keep doing the things they love, from playing with grandchildren to tending a garden, from traveling to simply enjoying the comfort of moving freely without pain. By embracing light exercise, prioritizing nourishing foods, and believing that improvement is always possible, anyone can rise above the challenges of age and create a body that supports them long past 80, opening the door to years filled with vitality, joy, and independence. Number 3. As the years go by, many older adults notice subtle changes in their memory, concentration, and overall mental sharpness. And while it is often brushed off as a natural part of aging, the truth is that cognitive decline can be one of the most dangerous hidden health problems that shorten life expectancy. The mind and the body are deeply connected, and when the brain begins to lose its clarity and responsiveness, it can set off a chain reaction that impacts physical health, emotional well-being, and even longevity itself. Memory lapses, confusion, and the inability to focus may start small but left unchecked. They can progress into serious conditions that rob people of independence and quality of life. What many do not realize is that the brain, just like the muscles and bones, thrives when it is exercised, nourished, and protected. With the right habits, it is possible to maintain mental sharpness well into the later years of life, reducing the risk of cognitive decline and giving oneself the chance to live not just longer but better. The mind needs stimulation to stay sharp, and one of the most effective ways to achieve this is through continuous learning and mental challenges. Reading books, solving puzzles, learning a new language, or even picking up a musical instrument can provide the brain with the kind of stimulation that keeps its networks active and responsive. Social engagement also plays a powerful role, as conversations with friends, participating in community groups, or even sharing stories with family members keep the brain flexible and adaptive. These activities may seem simple, but they act as exercises that strengthen the brain's pathways, delaying or preventing the decline that often comes with aging. Just as the body becomes weak when it is left idle, the brain becomes sluggish when it is not challenged. So staying curious and mentally active is like giving the mind a daily workout. Nutrition is another critical factor in brain health, and it often goes overlooked when people think about memory and concentration. The brain requires high-quality fuel to function at its best, and that means a diet rich in omega-3 fatty acids, antioxidants, and hydration. Omega-3s, found in fish like salmon, sardines, and mackerel, help build and maintain brain cell membranes, improving communication between neurons. Antioxidants from berries, leafy greens, and colorful vegetables fight oxidative stress, which can damage brain cells and accelerate decline. Whole grains provide a steady release of energy, ensuring that the brain has the glucose it needs without sudden spikes and crashes. Even hydration plays a role, as dehydration can lead to confusion, fatigue, and impaired memory. Yet many older adults do not drink enough water throughout the day. By paying attention to what goes on the plate and into the body, it is possible to nourish the brain in a way that keeps it strong and resilient. Equally important is the role of physical exercise in maintaining mental clarity. When the body moves, blood flow increases, delivering more oxygen and nutrients to the brain. This improved circulation helps generate new brain cells and strengthens existing connections, reducing the risk of decline. Light aerobic activities such as walking, swimming, or cycling, along with practices like yoga and Tai Chi, not only benefit the body but also sharpen the mind. Exercise has been shown to reduce stress hormones, increase feel-good chemicals like endorphins, and stimulate the production of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, which supports learning and memory. It is a powerful reminder that caring for the body and caring for the mind are not separate. tasks but deeply intertwined parts of the same journey toward longevity. Another hidden threat to brain health is chronic stress and emotional isolation. Stress releases hormones like cortisol that, over time, damage brain cells and impair memory. Loneliness and isolation can accelerate cognitive decline because the mind loses the stimulation and sense of purpose that come from human connection. On the other hand, a positive mindset, filled with gratitude, laughter, and hope, acts as a protective shield for the brain. Older adults who cultivate joy, whether through hobbies, relationships, or spiritual practices, are more likely to remain mentally sharp and emotionally resilient. Simple acts like practicing mindfulness, meditating, or spending time in nature can calm the mind, reduce harmful stress responses, and create the mental clarity that supports long-term brain health. The beauty of protecting mental health is that small daily actions accumulate into lifelong benefits. Choosing to read instead of watching television, enjoying a handful of berries with breakfast, calling a friend for a meaningful conversation, or taking a walk in the park all add up to significant protection against cognitive decline. Each of these choices may feel small in the moment, but together they form a powerful defense that allows the mind to stay alert and vibrant. By giving attention to both mental stimulation and emotional well-being, older adults not only safeguard their brains, but also enhance the richness of their daily lives, the ability to think clearly. Remember, cherish moments and stay connected to the present is one of the greatest treasures of life, and it is something worth fighting for at every age. While aging may bring changes, it does not have to mean surrendering to decline. The brain has a remarkable capacity to adapt, grow, and heal when given the right care, and by embracing habits that challenge the mind, nourish the body, and uplift the spirit, anyone can protect their mental health and extend not only the number of years they live, but the quality of those years, making life beyond 80 not just a possibility but a joyful reality. To number 4, one of the most underestimated obstacles to living well beyond 80 is not simply physical disease, but the accumulation of negative lifestyle choices that slowly erode health over decades. These choices are often hidden in plain sight because they become habits that feel normal, yet their long-term effects are devastating. Smoking, excessive drinking, chronic stress, and isolation may seem unrelated, but together they create an environment in which the body and mind struggle to thrive. They weaken immunity, strain vital organs, and disrupt the delicate balance that keeps life flowing smoothly. What makes them especially dangerous is that they often go unnoticed until serious health problems arise, but the encouraging truth is that replacing them with positive lifestyle habits can completely transform the direction of aging, giving older adults the strength, joy, and resilience to not only reach 80, but to move far beyond it with vitality. Take smoking, for example. Many older adults who began the habit in their youth may still underestimate how much damage it causes as the years progress. Every puff introduces toxins that scar the lungs, strain the heart, and reduce oxygen flow throughout the body. The result is a slower metabolism, greater risk of cancer, and less energy to live fully each day. Yet even after decades, quitting brings extraordinary benefits. Within weeks, circulation improves, within months, breathing becomes easier, and within years, the risk of heart disease drops dramatically. It is never too late to give the body a second chance by abandoning a habit that steals years in silence. Excessive drinking carries similar risks, weakening the liver, damaging the brain, and impairing judgment that is vital for independence in later years. But moderation or complete avoidance restores balance, allows the liver to repair, and reduces the likelihood of falls and injuries that can be life-threatening for seniors. Stress is another hidden destroyer of longevity, often dismissed as an unavoidable part of life. Chronic stress floods the body with cortisol, a hormone that in small amounts is useful, but in constant supply becomes toxic. It raises blood pressure, increases inflammation, suppresses immunity, and accelerates the wear and tear on the heart. Stress also affects sleep, making the body less able to repair itself. Over time, these effects can be just as damaging as any physical illness, yet the mind has powerful tools to fight back. Deep breathing, meditation, prayer, journaling, or simply spending time in nature calms the nervous system and signals the body to release stress. Practices like yoga or Tai Chi combine movement with mindfulness, strengthening both the body and mind at once. By learning to manage stress, older adults free themselves from an invisible burden that shortens life and robs joy from the years they do have. Isolation may be one of the most overlooked risks, yet it carries weight equal to smoking or obesity in its ability to shorten life. When older adults withdraw from social contact, whether due to retirement, loss of loved ones, or mobility challenges, the mind and body both begin to suffer. Loneliness increases the risk of depression, weakens immunity, and accelerates cognitive decline. Without connection, the sense of purpose fades, and this lack of emotional nourishment can quietly eat away at longevity. The antidote lies in reaching out, in rebuilding connections, and in choosing not to live in silence. Joining community groups, volunteering, spending time with family, or even connecting through technology provides stimulation, laughter, and the feeling of belonging that keeps the spirit alive. Companionship is medicine for the soul, and when the soul is uplifted, the body follows with renewed strength. What ties all these hidden destroyers together is the mindset behind them. A life guided by negativity, whether in the form of unhealthy habits, unresolved stress, or disconnection, becomes a life cut short. On the other hand, cultivating positivity, purpose, and joy gives the body a reason to fight for every extra day. Laughter lowers blood pressure, gratitude strengthens immunity, and optimism creates resilience. A positive mindset does not erase challenges, but it transforms how the body responds to them. It turns setbacks into lessons, stress into motivation, and loneliness into an opportunity to seek new bonds. Even small acts of positivity, smiling at a stranger, keeping a gratitude journal, celebrating little victories, accumulate to create a shield of resilience that carries a person forward, reaching 80 and beyond is not only about managing illness, but about choosing every day to align with life-giving habits. It is about letting go of cigarettes and excess alcohol, managing stress with calm practices, staying connected to others, and nurturing the mind with joy and hope. These are choices available to anyone, regardless of age or background, and their effects are immediate and lasting. When older adults commit to these choices, they reclaim control over the years ahead, building not just longevity, but a life filled with energy, purpose, and fulfillment that makes every year worth living.